Charles Sanford takes the pole award and gets a much-needed 5 bonus points. This track has always been S3's personal playground, and that's going to continue this year. 2 rounds remain. The teams return to the infamous Talladega Super Speedway in Alabama, home of high speeds, wild action, and big crashes, and lots of drama to spare. It's going to be a wild ride today. Ever since the IS's first race here in 2014, we have raced under the lights. However, this time around, just like the IS is going to be racing in the day, like the USSCA does. There's also been some renovations to the backstretch. A wall that was jetting out has been modified, and it's looking a lot safer on that back straight now. Of course, the biggest storyline heading into today is the championship. Ryder Smith has a massive 66-point lead, and if things go his way, he could lock it up today. His rivals all need to do big things in order to stay in the fight today, and we're going to go over that. Charles Sanford is already in mathematical contention right now. He has a chance to take the point lead. If he wants to do that, well, he already has the pole, so all he would need to do to get a perfect 70 is win the race and lead the most laps. If he pulls that off, Ryder Smith has to finish no better than 19th if Sanford is going to take the point lead, 18th if he's going to tie him. Sean Angel is the first driver who needs to do big stuff to even be in mathematical contention. He's 87 points off the lead. If Ryder Smith were to not score, he would need 18 points to stay in contention. That would mean Angel needs to finish 11th or better. Probably better because Ryder Smith could very easily have a good run. Maxwell Chan is 96 points back. While the Wrecking Balls does not have the best record at Talladega, Maxwell Chan does have a win at the big super speedway. And he has a big task ahead of him as he rolls off 30th. If he wants to remain in contention, he needs to finish at least 8th. Kyle Collins is the one with the biggest task ahead of him, as he's 111 points behind. No wins in his career, but RJ Manson Racing's always been strong on the plate races. One of his teammates, Carl Sanner, is considered a favorite, as he is the IRCA's plate king. And he's not lost his skill on these tracks, as his most recent win in the Elite Series came at Daytona last year in a thriller. But Kyle Collins, well, he has his work cut out for him. He is behind. He needs 41 points to get in the contention, which means he needs a podium, 3rd or better. For Collins, I honestly would say it's win or bust for him. And then as for Chris Louvier, well, he needed 2 perfect weekends and 2 no scores from Smith if he wanted the title, and, well, he didn't get the pole today. He qualified outside the top 10, and that is the end of his title hopes. Chris Louvier is going to be eliminated from the title before the green flag even drops. But I don't think that's what Louvier is concerned about, because Louvier has an infamous record at this racetrack. He has never seen the checkered flag in an Elite Series race at Talladega. He'll be trying to change that today. But I've rambled on long enough, so let's find out what stage this championship's gonna take. Can Ryder Smith lock it up today? Let's find out as we get down to the track for the round of Alabama. As the pace car peels off for pit road, it's going to be Charles Sanford and Zachary Fitzwater leading us down. This is going to be one of the most important races of the season. What's going to happen in these 47 laps? Well, we're about to find out as they head for the tri-oval, coming down to the stripe, waiting for the flag. And there it is! We're green! We're rocking it, Dega! Sanford with a good start. Getting a push from Ryder Smith. Ray Krieger already pulled out. And in the high side, I don't think he's gonna get much help there as we see the flyby. Already we've got 4 wide in the midfield. It's going to be chaos as these drivers try to find a way to get to the front. And there's more 4 wide. It's gonna be very tight. Faber trying to squeeze through. Yeah, everybody wasting no time getting in the front. Everett forcing it down the bottom 4 wide. And he's going to be giving Louvier a push. I don't know if Louvier's going to really want to cooperate with him, but I mean, just going to take what you get, I guess. Charles Sandver leads the first lap. He won this race last year pretty convincingly. He needs to do a lot today if he wants to be in the title hunt. And that's exactly what he sets out to do, and he's off to a good start. I don't know how long he's going to hold on, though. We got 2 of the Manson cars pushing each other. Dylan Young and Ray Krieger getting a little too close for comfort. But both the Manson cars pushing. Tandeming there, but who's going to pull out first? Are they just going to stay in a line, try to break away? No, Collins pulls out. They're not going to keep working together. Now there's a little bit of a gap, but with them side by side, it's going to allow the pack to catch up again. That was like one of the most interesting parts about plate racing is we're going to see some names that we are we are perhaps not used to seeing at the front. Drivers like Dylan Young and Asherton Zona, they've pushed their way into the top 10. You see Phyllis Fyodor and David Valzak lurking back there. Oh, that's a little tight between Reese Black and DJ Curtis. Almost in trouble, but there's Maxwell Chan. Maxwell Chan needs to do a lot to stay in the title fight today, as it's going to be 3 wide for the lead. Carl Sander forces it down the bottom. He knows this is his best chance to win a race. If he's going to win a race in 2017, this is his best shot. The Plate King himself. Goes to P1, but for how long? Here comes Dylan Young. I was going to shove for Zona. No, Zona goes for the glory himself. But Sander gets the momentum he needs, and he'll stay up front. Now that's going to leave Zona. That's going to leave Zona at the mercy of Connor Atwood, and I think Atwood's just going to shove him aside pretty quickly. Oh, that looks a bit tight. Oh, wow. Krieger throws the block on Everett. Everett looks like he was trying to squeeze it in. Meanwhile, Everett's got his teammate behind him, and it looks like the TRU teammates are going to push. Oh, is that 5 wide? Oh, that's Chan. That's Chan. Make him move to the front. He's here now. But that is a very tight-looking 4 wide. And Ryder Smith is right in the middle of that. They hold it together for now. But speaking of underdogs, look at this. TRU running all running in a line here. 2nd through 4th. Talladega Racing has always been pretty good on these plate tracks, and this is an opportunity for them to show their stuff. May have been another rough year for the team, but they've brought a bunch of good cars to the Talladega Super Speedway this week. Danny Everett takes P2 and tries to chase down Sander. Oh, and don't expect pit stops in this race. We had pit stops last season, but the fuel tanks, but the ISCC didn't like the action with the pit stops, so they brought bigger fuel cells, and we will be able to go the full 47 laps without a caution. We will be able to go the full 47 laps without a pit stop. It's gonna all be just intense racing action from start to finish. Everett, is he gonna pull out on the free, or is he just gonna push him for now? He may be trying to save some stuff, but he doesn't have. But I think he should pull out sooner rather than later. Fitzwater and Poyakov, 2 very fast cars on the move. But no wrecks yet. We don't know how long it's going to take. Last season, we did not make it very long before there was a massive accident. It was in fact, I believe it was lap 2, and in fact, John Amati, one of the drivers involved, ended up being injured in that wreck. We had an injury within the first 3 laps of the race. This time we've made it to lap 7, and it's about to be lap 8. So it's already been a lot cleaner. And Zona's coming back, helping out his fellow Chevrolet, giving Poyakov the shove. Charles Sandver heading back up the inside line as well. Ooh, Acosta I saw that in the back. That could have spelled disaster for Acosta. He cut it very close with that 26 car. And, well, Everett never made the move, and now he has Polyakov underneath him. Car number 48. S3 Motorsports going to be a threat here today. Charles Sanford, title contender, working his way back up to the front, along with Sean Angel and Kyle Collins. They need to run well today. They need some very good races if they want to remain in title contention. Kyle Collins needs a podium. And that's assuming Smith doesn't score any points. But he's doing whatever he can. Look at Polyakov, the slingshot. He's going to go to the point now. Oh, look who's coming down there. Look who's making moves. It's Aiden Shepard with a push from Matt Duncan. Both of those cars started in the rear of the field, and it looks like they have been on a charge. The Young Motorsports cars have been surprisingly quick this week. William Brock was top 5 in Happy Hour, and he was leading the session at one point. That team could actually contend for a win. If things fall their way, and who knows if that'll happen. Oh, Matt Duncan forces it 4 wide. He's gonna waste no time getting to the front. I mean, they're here now. They don't need to work together anymore. And now Kyle Collins is exactly where he needs to be. He's on the podium. He's trying to pass Sean Angel for second. Oh, he's gonna lose it. Faber gets the push. It's Seth Cole leading this pack now, and Seth Cole was pretty fast here last year. However, he, and I am not kidding, had an engine failure while leading. To say the least, you'll be hoping that does not happen again. This might be the longest we've ever been clean at this racetrack. Going on to lap 11, and we still have no incidents. That's remarkable. Now Nick Pericles, and there is no shortage of action as Nick Pericles makes it 3 wide for the lead. Oh, and he's gonna get his teammate the help here soon enough. Carl Sander down low, along with the man of the hour, Ryder Smith. He qualified third, fell back early. We hadn't seen much of him so far in this race, but there he is. And I mean, if he gets another top 5, that's gonna kind of eliminate all those championship scenarios we talked about in the pre-race. Because I mean, if Smith gets a top 5, what does it matter? They're all done. He has a very realistic chance to lock up the title today. All he needs is one more good run, like he's been getting all season. Oh, but Ryan Acosta might spoil that party for him. He's getting a push from his fellow Dodge and Chris Louvier. And Ryan Acosta, always one to watch out for on these plate tracks. He's just generally good on super speedways. It's getting, I notice this pack's getting a little more dense, and you will see there's some cars in the back that have fallen behind. A lot of guys not really being able to do much, like Princess Perkle. She's way off the pace. Got Pedro Guerra, who fell off. Chris Dodd, Eli Bright, EJ Williams, Duran, Jason Perkle, a lot of cars. Tommy Turbo doing his best to hold on. Alex Perkle, seems they brought a decent car. They're just managing to hold on to this pack. More 4 wide action at the front. The front of the field, it is still Carl Sander, who started to pull a bit of a gap over this pack, but it is getting very dense. Very dense in the middle there. Oh, this could be tight. Careful, guys. Who knows what could happen if we get a big pileup? After all, one of the biggest to watch out for is the big one. And there goes Angel up in the pack. Several cars involved. And Ryder Smith! I saw Charles Sanford involved in that, but Ryder Smith, he's fine! He was not involved! Charles Sanford, Sean Angel, Tyler Faber, Tommy Turbo! I think Kyle Collins might have gotten a piece! It's all come up Ryder! It is all come up Ryder Smith, folks! He might have just locked up this title. But it took us to lap 15, but it happened. We got the big one. Let's go and take a look at what happened. Well, here's a look. Sean Angel, he's going to get hooked by Allie Nelson. Sends him up the racetrack, right up into Charles Sanford and Chris Louviere, and a big pileup ensues. Dylan Young involved. And Will Hoyt almost sends the 14 up and over. But manages to stay on all fours. There's Turbo getting into the 11. Maybe not quite as big as we were expecting, but still a fairly sizable accident. Oh, but here comes the rest of the field. Did they crash into anyone? Does not seem like it. I do believe Kyle Collins was involved in that, though. We'll take another look. Here's an onboard of Kyle Collins. You see the wreck happens right in front of him. And right there, he gets a bump from Faber and he gets sent into the wall. So Collins' championship aspirations may have come to an end as he does get a piece of the pileup. He will be coming to take the restart on lap 19. Carl Sander is your leader. Ray Krieger is in second. Nico Poyakov third. David Balzac fourth. Tamor Elise in fifth. Aiden Shepard sixth. With James Shelley, who started pretty far behind in seventh. Pericles eighth. Chan ninth. Zona 10th. And Ryder Smith in 11th. If things go his way, it's entirely possible that Ryder Smith may have just won the 2017 Insomniac Elite Series Championship. It's not over, but he's sitting pretty right now, as 3 of his championship rivals were involved in that. 2 of them are still on the racetrack. Charles Sanford and Kyle Collins are still out there. And Sean Angel is officially done. But we'll see if they're even on the pace. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Ray Krieger jumps on Carl Sander and he takes the lead away. It's DeLeese getting a push from his car owner, James Shelley. James Shelley, he had engine issues on his qualifying lap, ended up qualifying dead last, several seconds off the pace, but he rolled off 39th due to some drivers getting sent to the rear. He has been steadily on the move since then. And we'll just have to see what that means. We'll see what that means for his title hopes, but Nick Pericles 4 wide for a third position. And he's got Ryder Smith right behind him. Look, they're looking good right now. Well, still keeping it 4 wide. Keep it together, guys. Chan absolutely needs to hold it together. The pressure is on for car number 51 because Ryder Smith has a golden ticket to lock up the title today. But Poyakov leads it right now. He's not had the best of seasons, but he is in a very good position to win today. Nick Pericles, it was just announced this weekend that he will be returning to RJ Manson Racing. There was some question over whether or not he would be returning to the team, but he has been re-signed to drive the 31 in 2018. Could he cap that off with a win? We'll see. There's a lot of potential for surprises. That's always one of the most exciting parts about Talladega is the upset potential. Oh, but there's Danny Everett. I believe he was involved in the incident. And, well, I think that's game for Charles Sanford. He's off the pace, and so is Kyle Collins. Neither car is able to hold on to the pack, and that is probably it. Chris Louviere, well, he's not out of the race, but he did run into problems there. but Charles Sanford has been struggling abysmally ever since Japan. He never recovered from that incident. And well, that just might be how it is. You know, Shepard giving Chan a push. Oh, but no, Matt Duncan spoils that party. I think Shepard was thinking about going underneath him. Duncan says no. No, we're not doing that. But Playakov's been doing a good job defending both lines. He might be the favorite now that Sanford's down. And I believe Seth Cole was also involved in that incident. Like, a lot of good cars got taken out. A lot, and I mean a lot of them. You know, I got this big group of cars back here. I wonder if they could find a way to reach that pack. They need to really focus on trying to catch them, though. They've kind of been fighting amongst each other. And I mean, there is a point spot on the line. This is the battle for 20th right here. Alex Constantine holding a spot as we speak. But if they're going to catch that pack, they need to focus. They will not be able to pull that off if they keep fighting amongst each other. But I don't know if there's any strong pushers in that pack. That's the thing. Oh, Balzac, he's doing whatever he can to hold on. Trying to hold on to the pack. Asherton Zona making 4 wide for the lead. And he is squeezing Pericles up the track. Oh, that could have spelled disaster. Zona trying to go for broke. He has a legitimate shot to score a win. He could, don't forget, anything could happen here. For all we know, we could see someone like Asherton Zona scoring their first ever win. Or maybe someone like Zachary Fitzwater, who's been looking for number 1 for a large portion of his career. He almost won here back in 2015 in the Slim Jim Series. But an extremely lucky push from Dinky Louvier sent Chris Valentine flying down his inside to steal that one away. That's the closest Fitzwater's ever been to victory in his career. But perhaps he could steal one today. He had a fantastic drive last time. Well, the last time he was in his 74 car, he had a fantastic outing in his home country in Australia. I think he's going to be trying to score a win here. He's going to be trying to score a win. He's going to go out here and try to do it again. Oh, that pack is getting very dense up there. But it's all happening behind Ryder Smith. He is having the luckiest race right now. Everything is going his way, and that's a 5 wide. How did they not wreck? That was 5 wide for a moment. Drivers going for broke. A lot of these guys don't get the chance to run up front like this. They don't really get a chance at victory. They do right now. They have a chance. You know, like Aiden Shepard, who's running in second, and he's going for the lead. Aiden Shepard going for P1. Oh, but there's a lap car. That's the 2 of Dylan Young, and he's not going to help his teammate. Wait, yes he is. He pulls up. Dylan Young holds up the outside line for his teammate. But he's not going to lead the lap because Ryder Smith makes the move down low. Oh, Young gets turned. Goes back up. They don't wreck, but that is broken the pack apart. Look at all the speed that cost. David Valzak going for the lead. David Valzak He's had a bad season. Doesn't even begin to describe the 2017 that David Valzek has had. But he's here. BMW had faith in him. They know he's a plate ringer. He's got to win at this racetrack, and they had faith in him. They wanted to give him a shot, and look how that's working out so far. Could BMW return to victory lane? They haven't done that. They haven't done that since their flagship was Cybertron Motorsports. That being in 2016. I believe the last win for BMW was with DJ Curtis in Paris in 2016. They have a chance here today. Pericles coming back with a huge run of steam from Polyakov. Ryder Smith forcing the issue. But look at the runs those guys are having. Do not count any of them out. Oh, Shepard got very unsettled up there. Young Motorsports, they don't have a good chassis, and it showed right there. But here's a surprise, the Wrecking Balls leading the way at a plate track. That doesn't usually happen. This team does not have a great history on these types of tracks. And Louviere is in trouble right now, but I think every title contender is holding their breath as we speak. Like, they are just holding their breath. I think they're hoping for something to happen to that 18 car, if I'm being honest. I think that's what their title hopes hinge upon. Is just something happening to that 18. Otherwise, it might be all over. These three, they lost the pack because of the slow 2 car. They are desperately trying to get back up there, but I think they're just too far gone. And I mean, that is a tough break for Matt Duncan. He was so close. He was having a great race. Well, Carl Sanders finally back up to the front. He had a bit of a setback with that 2 car. That will not be the last lap car they find. Look at these three. Charles Sanford, Chris Louviere, Princess Perkle. They're going to want to spoil the party for sure. It'll be a while before they catch them. But here comes Sanner. Carrying a lot of speed. He's gonna go for the lead, and he'll take it. The Plate King back up to P1, but for how long? It's a little spread out. It is a little spread out now. That lap car kind of messed with things. But it's very possible that something could still happen by the end of this race. Oh, here comes Smith again. I think Chan knows his situation right now is pretty much just win. I think Chan basically needs to win this race right now. Smith is up here. Because the scenario, the 8 for better, that was if Ryder Smith didn't score any points. But he's up here at the front of the field. Ryder Smith could get a top 5 finish. And if that happens, well, who knows? That could be game. Don't know if there's anything Chan could do at that point. Have a bit of a breakaway at the front now between Sanner and Polyakov. Like, those two are just tandeming right now. 2 of the fastest cars in the field getting to work. So we approach 10 laps to go. We're getting ever closer to that mark. And yeah, that 6, yeah, they're gone. 6 car is gone. All these guys, they will not be catching up. They need something to happen. And I don't know if they're getting it. Oh, here comes Ashford's in Zona. He's tried to go for the lead on multiple occasions, but he's just not been able to make anything stick. Oh, that's not gonna happen this time either, because Fitzwater gets the slingshot. I thought I was gonna push. No, he squeezes it under the 76. That might allow things to pack up a little bit. Again, all of Smith's title rivals are just hoping for a wreck. That's what they need. They need a wreck. And ideally one to wipe out that 18. Otherwise he may be home free. But Maxwell Chan, Chan's starting to get desperate, making 4 wide moves at the front of the field. Oh boy, it's getting very dicey there. It's starting to get very dicey with 11 laps to go now. There will be 10 laps to go at Talladega next time by. That 3 car is looking so good leading the field. RJ Manson Racing has gone winless in 2017. It's been a pretty disastrous year by their standards. They fought for the title, but that doesn't really mean much now, as of course they are out of title contention. Unless something absolutely insane happens, they are done. Kyle Collins will not be able to win this championship. Unless something happens, Kyle Collins will be done. Oh, there's Allie Nelson. Allie Nelson's been racing hard. She's always a threat on these plate tracks. She has 2 wins on plate tracks. Both in her rookie year at Texas World and at Louisiana. She's not really had much of a taste of success at Talladega, but those plate skills are there. Of course, so is her aggression, as was evidenced earlier in the race. Ooh, Shelley have a bit of a tight block on the 41. Everyone trying to find their draft partners as they look to get to the front. Chan pushes Ryder Smith aside. Aiden, not really a good move there. As Aiden Shepard, he absolutely needs a draft partner. He's not going to be able to do much by himself. Oh boy, they're catching the 2 again. Where's the other cars? I don't know if they're going to catch them. But they are going to catch the 2 of Young again. What's this going to mean? Field catches them, holds at the bottom. He helps out his teammate once again. And now he's going to block both lines of traffic. Well, he moved up. I think he might have moved up, let the inside go, but effectively he blocked both lanes. And he's holding up Ryder Smith and Maxwell Chan. That can mean a lot for the championship. Can anyone get that? You can see they're kind of looking, trying to find an opening, and Pericles does just that. But now Sander and Shepard have a breakaway. They are several seconds ahead of the field. 7 laps to go now. Oh, that's a big pack back there. Ooh, very aggressive one too. 1 point on the line back there. But it's just Aiden Shepard and Carl Sander drafting away. If they break up, that's going to just bring the entire pack to them even quicker. But I do feel like Shepard's going to consider that. I mean, what do you want to do when you're in Shepard's situation? You're a rookie. You're driving for a small team, and you have a shot to win. So the question is, how do you make the move? And those are the questions that Aiden Shepard has to deal with right now. I think he's just going to choose to stay behind the free. That pack is likely going to catch up no matter what he does. Well, where is Ryder Smith now? He's still here. Oh boy! That might have cost Chan. Look at Chan, he's way behind. I don't know if he's able to stay in the draft. He might be done. That is not a good situation for him. Chan needs something to happen and fast. And he's running out of time too. There's only 5 laps to go. Krieger and Poyakov, I think they're working together. And so is David Valzak. They're all in a line trying to catch the top 2. Sanner is so tantalizingly close to another win. Could he get it in his farewell tour? 4 laps to go now. I think what's killing Chan right now is that they're not fighting. They're all just drafting together, and that's costing Chan more and more time. I think it's over. I think Ryder Smith might have just won this title. But it's just these two pushing. Shepard hasn't pulled out yet. He just does not have the aerodynamics. He hasn't gotten a run on him. Just can't make anything happen. My question is, will they catch these lap cars? I don't think that. No, they're not going to do it. Though they will not be a factor. 3 laps to go. Oh, Shepard's starting to look. Seriously, if you're gonna make that, Aiden, if you're gonna make that move, you better do it quick. The pack is coming. The pack is coming fast. Only a matter of time. I don't know if he's able to pull anything off. That might be all she wrote. Oh, they're getting closer and closer. Will they get there in time? Well, they probably will. This is why Shepard needs to pull out now. 2 laps to go now. Actually, I don't know. If they don't work together, then maybe not. They're not catching as fast as I expected. Not as quickly as expected. Zona down low. Chan has lost the draft. It's all over. But can Pericles get there in time? Shepard needs to make that move. He's just waiting, biding his time, but I don't think he can get a run on him. He's just been right behind him, but the white flag is out now. He can't wait any longer. He looks up high again. He's still looking down low. He does not have a push. He has no help. That might be why he's not pulled out. He needs to do something though. Pericles coming fast. There he goes. Shepard pulls out. He's underneath the free. He's gonna have Nick Pericles coming fast. Asherton Zona with the charge. They're gonna be coming out. They're gonna be flying down the back straight. Pericles having to make a move coming in straight. Zona's gonna get free wide at the front. And they're gonna be thundering free wide to the stripe and across the line. I think Nick Pericles just sniped it. Yes, he did. Nick Pericles wins the round of Alabama. Oh, Aiden's gotta be heartbroken. He made the move, but Pericles made it count. What a charge for that 31. He's back in victory lane. How about that? What a drive by that team. But Ryder Smith comes home in 10th, and that is all he needed to do to lock up the 2017 Insomniac Elite Series Drivers' Championship. What a comeback for him and that 18 crew. Getting suspended after the Sony 400, comes back with a vengeance. with one of the most incredible second half runs I've ever seen in my time as a commentator. Congratulations to him and at Hamilton Autosports crew. It's been an incredible season for them. Let's take another look at that finish. So we're obviously see these two, Carl Sander and Aiden Shepard. They're at the front. Nick Pericles, he's pushing. He's getting a push from Zona and Krieger. They're coming fast. Aiden knows he has to make. Shepard knows he has to make a move. And Shepard knows he has to make a move, and he sees him coming. So he go down the back straight. He pulls out. And at this point, he thinks he's got it, right? Well, wrong, because that's when Pericles gets the toe on him, and you can see how much faster he is. He's got a huge head of steam. He just comes flying down, but this is where it gets really interesting. Zona tried to make it 4 wide. He went 4 wide for the lead, except then Sander loses his momentum and ends up out of that battle. And then they all come to the line, 3 wide, and Zona almost gets it here. But yeah, Shepard, he loses ground, but in the end, you see they come to stripe. Pericles inches first. What a finish! We're getting word that the margin of victory was 7 1/1000ths of a second. Just absolutely incredible stuff. What a finish! And congratulations to Nick Pericles on a phenomenal win here today. He finally snaps that winless streak. Nick Pericles and RJ Manson Racing are bound to be excited. That is RJ Manson Racing's first win of 2017, and of course, this snaps a 2-year winless streak for Nick Pericles. Congratulations, F31 team. Asherton Zona, one of the rookies, came 7 1/1000ths of a second short of his first win, but it was a valiant effort by him, and of course, by Aiden Shepard, who finished third. Shepard's probably heartbroken after that one, but hey, he did everything he could do he did everything he possibly do to get that win, and I mean, getting on the podium is very impressive. But yeah, Young Motorsports could have returned a victory lane today, but it just wasn't meant to be. Ray Krieger ends up getting a top 5 finish in 4th. Great day for him. And Carl Sander, the plate king, I think he wanted to get one more plate win before he hung up the helmet. But, I mean, he led the most laps today, got top 5. He still showed why he has that title. David Valzak finally finishes a race, everybody. And he did it in 6th. Valzak's always had a reputation as a plate ringer, and he shows it today. Almost got a top 5 for the underfunded BMW team. They've really been racking up some results lately. Niko Polyakov, the only S3 car who really had a good day, finishes in 7th, capping off a very disappointing day for the team. Zachary Fitzwater gets yet another good finish for Team Thunder in his last race with the team. But who knows, maybe this won't be the last time he works in the Ford program. James Shelley started 39th, gains 30 spots to finish 9th. And there's Ryder Smith in 10th. Only led 1 lap today, but he did everything he needed to do, and things fell his way. Tamora Delise, good finish for him in 11th. Allie Nelson, another good finish for her in 12th, though I think a lot of people will not be happy of her today. Connor Atwood's top 5 streak comes to an end, but hey, it's Talladega. It's not really a painful loss there. And, well, he's actually the highest finishing Wrecking Balls car, so there's that. Phyllis Fedor continues her run of form with a top 15 there, 14th. Reese Black finishes in 15th very quietly. And Maxwell Chan, well, he's not going to be happy with Dylan Young. He probably would have still been in this thing if Dylan Young did not hold him up and cost him the draft. Matt Duncan, very problematic day. Probably going to be disappointed of 17th. Likewise for Seth Cole in 18th. Jeffrey Finguy, he fought for a win here last year. He's got to settle for 19th this time. And then William Brock does get a points finish. He finishes in 20th. As we move on to the standings, Ryder Smith now has a point lead of 83 points over Charles Sanford. Nobody can catch him now. The most points he can gain or lose is 70. So, which means it is official that Ryder Smith has clinched the Insomniac Elite Series title a race early. A first for this series. What a phenomenal second half of the year. We all thought he was down after a DQ and a penalty following Indianapolis. He got suspended for a race. And there's always been a trend where the champions have always run well at Indy. Well, Smith broke that trend. Charles Sanford, well, he really fell apart in the second half there, huh? That final stretch ended up killing him. And here's the kicker: if he didn't get that DQ, he would be 59 points behind right now. Still a big gap, right? But a big gap, yes. But he would still have been in mathematical contention. A short-sighted move ended up costing him more than he could have realized. So, because he could have probably done that in Auto Club. I mean, that track's one of S3's best, but just was not meant to be. Sean Angel, he also could have had a shot at this title, but inconsistency and bad luck was his downfall. Today was his 8th DNF of the season. That's the most of any driver. Definitely been a rough year for Angel, all things considered. Maxwell Chan fought hard, had a fantastic second half, but comes up just short of the title once again. Kyle Collins is still winless, but he's had a fantastic year. Definitely had a disappointing end to his title bid. Chris Lovier, well, he's 6th. He had issues today, but he made it to the checkered flag, so I think he got it so he completed his goal. Nick Pericles is up to 7th with his win. Certainly, but definitely the best season of his career at this point. Tyler Faber is 8th, Matt Duncan 9th, and how about that? Connor Atwood is now in the top 10. Seth Cole 11th, James Shelley 12th. Shelley's actually pretty close to the top 10 in points. He could get it in Auto Club. There's a lot of people that could pop in or fall out, so if he gets a great day at Auto Club, he could get a top 10 points finish. I will say, though, it is going to be the top 10 in owners' points that are locked in the Auto Club, so that's worth keeping in mind. Reese Black in 13th, Polyakov 14th, Krieger up to 15th with his finish. That's Brandon Wood in 16th, Cosmic Nova in 17th, Allie Nelson passes DJ Curtis for 18th, and Jeffrey Finguy rounds out your top 20. Well, the Drivers' Championship may be settled, but there's still more to be decided. There's still the PT Cup, and there's still the final race of the season, the big finale at Auto Club that will be over capacity this season. The next one will be the 100th Insomniac Elite Series race, the 2017 running of the Insomniac Championship night.